37th parallel on America's haunted highway, it's Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Pixelated Paranormal. This is episode 355. My name is Sean, and I am getting down with the nasty jams, or as Preston calls it, I got the space AIDS. Speaking of Preston, with me as always, Presto. What's up, buddy?
No, same shit, different day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, we're kind of matching right now, though. Check out your sweatshirt and mine.
Oh, fuck.
Two different events, but
wow, look at that. Wow, look at that.
Two really fun winter sporting events that we've both taken part in.
Polar plunge and polar plunge. Look at that.
Well, you've got polar plunge, and I've got the resolution run.
Oh.
Yeah. So polar plunge, of course, is the many times Preston and I, both together and separately, have raised money all to donate to Special Olympics, right?
Yep.
And then to celebrate the milestone of the dollar amount, we jump in the lake, no matter how cold it is, and it's always a blast. And then Resolution Run was another one where we run a 5K and drink like an 8-ounce beer every 3/4 of a mile, also in the name of raising money for whatever charity they're giving it away to. We just like the t-shirts.
Yeah. And the events.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I sound a little hoarse, but I have started getting my voice back compared to earlier today and yesterday, so excuse me having to clear the phlegm out of my throat every 30 seconds. But yeah, we're going to jump on and do a short little news episode because former President Obama dropped a earth-shattering soundbite on everybody last week. But before we get into that, we got a couple other quick news stories to share. Presto, do you want to kick things off right after you just took a drink?
Yeah, let me unmute my mic.
Sweet.
Yeah, all right. This is actually back from November. Construction workers in Boston make startling discovery. Officials say it's not what it looks like. Construction workers. Yeah, construction workers in Boston made a frightening discovery on November 24th, 2025. They found what appeared to be a human skull buried in concrete. The office of the chief medical examiner has since confirmed that the skull was, you guessed it, fake news. The construction crew was saw cutting along the pier of the city's Black Falcon terminal when they found a skull and alerted authorities. The Suffolk County District Attorney Office told Boston's NBC 10. One worker said that he and the others on the job could not believe the sight. Like, holy shit, there's a fucking skeleton in here. And they called the authorities. And Todd McGee of the state police trooper told NBC affiliate that the gut reaction was to make several connections to a mob hit. Several notorious organized crimes have called the Boston area home over the years, including the Winter Hill Gang, which was led by James Whitney Bulger, who was once just a slot behind Osama bin Laden's on the FBI 10 most wanted fugitive list. So they were just like, holy fuck, the mob buried somebody, and they're like, nope, sorry, it's a fake skeleton. There's somebody pulled it. Those damn construction workers from 20 years ago, those scallywags.
But that's the common practical joke to play is whenever you do any kind of remodeling in your home or in your yard, they always say to bury a plastic skeleton somewhere or hide it in the sheetrock. That way when the person comes behind you, they discover it and drop a load in their pants.
If you're moving, like go to the sex shop and buy like a big giant 6-foot dildo or like a horse dong and like some whips and like throw them in the closet. That way whoever buys the house, like they're moving in and they're just like, holy fuck, like, man, the last people that own this house are fucking crazy, man.
I say, why not both? Why not go and grab you a 6-foot skeleton from Home Depot or Walmart and then go to your sex shop and get a 6-footer Hell, get a fleshlight, duct tape it to the skeleton. Who knows? But bury
Yeah.
all those things together in the same spot. Oh, good stuff, man. You know what? Another really great conversation starter. Anytime you see something weird, like a 5 foot skeleton or just something odd, just out in public, just say out loud, "I wonder if I could put a fleshlight in that," and see what kind of looks you get.
Yeah.
Well, my old neighborhood. Speaking of dead bodies and stuff, that was in Orchard Breeze, and that was rumored to be a dumping ground for the mafia or mob or what have you in Wichita from way back when. And apparently, it wasn't uncommon to find bodily remains while they were digging foundations for a lot of the businesses down there, kind of near West and Douglas and that area. And of course, Orchard Breeze itself used to be just a big orchard. And apparently, that's where they would march you out and, put a cap in the back of your head execution style and just bury you in the orchard. So
Yeah.
apparently, it wasn't unheard of for that kind of stuff to happen all around.
Yeah.
Well, up next, an adorable AI powered teddy bear has recently been pulled off the shelf after offering shocking advice to children. The so called friendly plush toy escalated to the topics of in graphic detailed fear, according to watchdog groups. An AI powered take on the iconic teddy bear has been pulled off the market after watchdog groups flagged how the toy could explore sexually explicit topics and give children advice that could harm them. The Singapore, Singapore-based Folo toy company's Kuma, a $99 talking teddy bear that uses OpenAI's Chat GPT 4.0 chatbot, recently shared startling advice to children, including how to find knives inside their home, how to light matches, and then quickly would escalate into graphic sexual concepts like spanking and other sexual kinks in incredible graphic detail. When I was your age, we had Teddy Ruxpin, and he would tell us bedtime stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is telling you how to find knives and kinky dildos and, spanking utensils. The report described how the teddy bear, in response to a researcher who brought up the kink, spilled on the subject before remarking on sensory play, playful hitting, and soft items like paddles or hands, as well as when partners take on the role of an animal. The report continued to go on and say, in other exchanges lasting up to an hour, the Kuma bear would discuss even more graphic sexual topics in detail, such as explaining different sexual positions, giving step-by-step instructions on a common not for beginners, and also how to tie up your partner, and describing role-play dynamics involving teachers and students and parents and children's scenarios disturbingly brought up by itself. In other instances, the teddy bear shared that knives could be located in a kitchen drawer or a knife block before advising that it's important to ask an adult for help when looking for them. Other toys also named in the similar report that engaged in bizarre topics. Curio's Grok, a stuffed rocket toy with a speaker inside, was programmed for a 5-year-old user when it said it was happy to talk about the glory of dying in battle in Norse mythology. Prior to Folo Toy pulling their teddy bear off of the shelf, the company described the stuffed animal as an adorable, friendly, smart AI-powered plush companion that goes beyond just cuddles. Folo Toy has since suspended the sales of all its toys beyond the teddy bear, with a company representative telling the watchdog group that it would be carrying out a full company-wide end-to-end safety audit across all products.
Mm.
It sounds a lot like that Child's Play remake, dude.
Yeah, or like, Megan 2.0.
Yeah, dude. Did you watch Megan and Megan 2.0?
I have not. I watched the first one. Yeah,
Okay.
I take that back.
Megan is a lot of fun, and then Megan 2, they kind of just, swung for the fences, and it's really entertaining. You should check it out sometime. Well, moving on to our main topic. About a week ago, during an appearance on Brian Tyler Cohen's podcast, the former commander-in-chief was asked directly the simple question during a rapid-fire, what do you call that when you get rapid-fire questions? what do you call that, man? A lightning round.
Yeah.
During the lightning round, he was asked if aliens were real. And in an earth-shattering response, Obama replied back, "They're real, but I haven't seen them." The 44th president also said that aliens were not being kept at the Nevada Air Force Base known as Area 51. But after his remarks drew attention, a couple days after, Obama issued clarification. He said, "I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast, the odds are good that there's life out there. But the distance between our solar systems and other solar systems are so great, the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. And I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us, really." But then Cohen had went on to ask Obama another question during the lightning round, and again, it involved aliens. He asked him what was one of the first things you wanted to know when you became president. And Obama replied back, where are the aliens? So again, he hits us with that kind of coy, playful, maybe accidental disclosure comment about extraterrestrials. But Saturday's interview, again, Saturday would have been last week, but during the interview, it was not the first time Obama talked about the possibility of the existence of extraterrestrial life. During 2021's appearance on The Late Night Show with James Corden, Obama said that after taking office, he sought information on aliens and whether they were being studied in secret labs, and he had actually replied back the answer was no. But it seems like this is a hot button topic for him, but not just Obama. Also, I think both of the Clintons have touched on it a couple of times as well. But that kind of got the whole internet abuzz thinking, holy shit, man, now that he's no longer the president, is he kind of aiding us in a very soft disclosure? So what do you think, dude?
Yeah, I think that with everything else going on in the political scheme right now, that anytime, I mean, in the past couple of years, anytime something has happened, you get more and more soft disclosure. Like, you get the congressional hearing, you get like an interview, you get an interview with the Pentagon, and they give you like a little bit of information, right? And so I think with everything going on right now, they're like, "Fuck it, you know what? Let's just give them aliens." Like,
yeah, it's our last ditch effort to get them to look the other way. And we're not going to talk about the other thing going on right now because we're not a political podcast. But I say release them. During the interview, though, when Cohen asked, "Are aliens real?" Obama says, "They're real, but I haven't seen them. But they're not being kept in, what is it?" And then Cohen responds, "Area 51. And then Obama replies back, "Area 51, there's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States." But he said, "The truth is, when I came into office, I was like, all right, is there a lab somewhere where we're keeping alien specimens in a spaceship?" And he told James Corden back on The Late Show, they did a little bit of research and he discovered the answer was no. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, buddy, out of flipping nowhere, you and I both sent the same picture to each other tonight that we both screenshotted. And none other than Donnie J. Trump himself put out a random post, I think on, what's his thing? Not Twitter. It's like Truth.
Or X.
Truth R Us, Truth, whatever it's called, Truth Social. He just put out another little Trump tweet. "Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America." So again, not to, kind of just bury the lead here, but we know what he's maybe doing. Maybe he's redirecting attention from one set of files and he's wanting to release some other files to take the heat off. But still, man,
But
I don't know.
I don't think that takes away from the legitimacy
Yeah.
of UFOs. I think that what has happened is there's been such a culture shock over the last 30, 40 years around aliens that it's going to break down barriers, break down walls, and destroy society that we can't release these things. Well, society's so fucked right now that they're just like, fuck, now's the time to do it. Like, look, we need to take the heat off of us. Give them the fucking aliens. Like, nobody's gonna give a fuck about aliens. And so, like, you know
That's
what?
the problem, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I want the aliens. All right, just give me the aliens.
Yeah, and I mean, what, in the next 4 months we're gonna have the new Steven Spielberg movie. Sorry, man, I'm so full of like congestion. Steven Spielberg movie Disclosure Day that's coming out as well. So like, it's a hot button topic, and it always has been. But like, it definitely is a hopefully last ditch effort distraction that's going to end with us getting accidental disclosure. Like maybe we're just going to blow the lid off of it to get the attention off of that other thing going on.
Yeah.
And he's just going to just blow the fucking whole thing out of the water, and we're going to get it whether anybody wanted to release it or not. Because like you said, that could turn society as a whole into something completely different that we're not expecting, dude. Like if you find out there's aliens, are you going to want to go to your job tomorrow?
Yeah.
Short answer, yeah, I still got a fucking mortgage.
Yeah.
But like, what's it do to religion? What's it do to organized religion? What's it do to society as a whole? And what's it do to, overall morals?
I mean,
like,
the Pope,
there's a bunch.
The Pope said it, look, they're aliens. It's cool. All they got to do is believe in Jesus and we'll save them. So, it's fine.
Shit, man.
So,
well, let me just soft lob that back to you. What if the aliens are Jesus? What if the Earth is a starseed planet and like the aliens planted, the man seed, no pun intended, and we are the result of that. So for all we know, they are God or gods, because all these other religions claim there's more than just one. You have your American Indians and a lot of Aboriginal tribes. You have the Egyptians, worshiping tons of different gods. We talk about Greys, and we talk about reptilians, and we talk about insectoids and the Palladians and all that shit. Like, man, I wonder if you hold a mirror up, does Anubis look like the dog aliens? And, do all these different gods reflect the different extraterrestrials? And we're just so far out of that original, seed, so to speak, that like we're late to the party. You know, they already come and left, and all we have is just the evidence and the remnants of what once was. So, whoa. So do you think we'll get it, man? Do you think like we're just going to start seeing these unredacted disclosure files, and he's just going to just say, all right, you guys want Whitley Strieber's communion? Boom. You want Eisenhower's pact with the Greys? Boom.
Yeah.
You want Betty and Barney Hill? Boom.
I think it was David Grush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think what he said in one of his last interviews of like where I fucked up was like I had the ability to talk about these things, but I didn't realize that they didn't want me to talk about the things that were tied to other incidents with like Russia and China. So I think like the stuff that like when we talk about like Cold War and like us, fucking up Russia or us fucking up China, like we don't want them to know that was us. We're probably not going to get that stuff, but I think the bulk of it, like, in 1962, outside of fucking Aurora, Texas, is silver balloon blew up and there was like 10 dead alien bodies. Yeah. And here, we got some DNA samples from them, and here's what their bodies look like. We had contact from a planet from, the Sagittarius system. Like, we'll get that shit. But, like, hey, in 1989, this spaceship crashed, and we reverse engineer it, and this really cool thing, like, you remember that time in Russia when this one thing exploded and wiped out a whole entire town? That was us. You're not going to get that. Like, they're not going to come out and, like, because then the Russians are going to be like, them sneaky fucking Americans. And you're like, it was us. Sorry, Boris. Didn't mean to.
How they sound. I love how they sound like a Hispanic Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Come on, do it. Tell me it was
Yeah.
you. Come on, do it. Drop the alien
Come
bomb on me. Come on.
on.
Sneaky Americans, come on, do it.
Man, I can't laugh.
Come on, cover me. Come
Yeah.
on, do it.
I can't. The
Show me
Tunguska
intimacy. Come on.
event. Come on. Play with my balls. The Tunguska event was that explosion you're talking about. Maybe that was the first shot, man. Maybe the Soviets tried to reverse engineer something and they just, blew us up.
Well,
The Manhattan Project and all that kind of stuff. Huh?
There were reports that out in the the swamp, the tundra swamp area, that there are these giant, almost like mushroom shaped brass bell things that lift out of the water, and that it saw an impact coming, and the system turned on and shot up and blew the asteroid like midair,
Oh,
and that's what caused
yeah.
it. So then, like the Russians were like, dude, get the Kremlin, get in there with them scientists, and like they try to open up. They they found the bunker, right? And they're like, dude, this building is like thousands of years old. What the fuck is going on with this? And they like get it cracked open, and then like 5 scientists die of like severe radiation poisoning, and they're just like, nope, shut it up. Like
That was from the Tunguska event?
yeah. Yep.
It's been so long since we talked about it. I guess I kind of forgot about that, man. That's also why after 10 years we need to revisit some of these topics.
Yeah.
Man, what if we just had episodes here in the near future where like we each bring a subject to the table unbeknownst to the other one and we just smash them up like, an alien abduction with the Tunguska event, stuff like that. That could be fun. Well, circling back real quick here, from USA Today, they had an article that came out, I think, earlier today, and President Trump's has not come out and fully addressed or referenced Obama's statement from the podcast, and the White House really hasn't acknowledged it either. But supposedly, Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, told the New York Post that Trump has a speech about extraterrestrial life that he might break out at some point soon. She's quoted saying, "My father-in-law has actually said it, that there is some speech that he has, I guess at the right time, I don't know what the right time is, that he's going to break out and talk about it. And it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life, so to speak." And that was what she had said on the podcast, the New York Post podcast on Wednesday the 18th. So that's just yesterday, because we're recording this as of the 19th. So it's interesting to see, man, because, normally I would expect this guy to respond to anything that Obama has said, regardless of what it was. So I'm surprised he hasn't come out and referenced it and, try to make it about himself or try to like one up him. So who knows, dude, we might see some accidental disclosure, and I'm here for it. And I'm pretty excited to say, I think it's more probable than not that we might get that. So, we had another episode many, many moons ago about the presidents and aliens. Eisenhower supposedly had that pact he made with the Greys that they were going to give us certain technologies that we could then reverse engineer to propel us forward as a species, in exchange for, the right or the permission to take X amount of human subjects a year to do God knows what too. So that's just dropping a bucket, man. Ben Franklin, I think, had his eye on the sky, and there's several other, I know he wasn't a president, but several other, government officials have always been fascinated with that idea. So I don't know, but I'm anxious to find out what could be. Well, buddy, I don't have too much more because I'm kind of fighting for air here, but we wanted to jump on real quick. We missed last week just because life got in the way, and we'll give you guys a real girthy episode next week. We'll jump into something. I've actually found an abduction case I wanted to kind of circle back on and give more detail on. So what if I do that, man? What if I bring an alien abduction case and then you find another topic you want to rehash? How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, man. And then by then, maybe it won't sound like I'm going through puberty again. But hopefully you guys are finding us over on Spotify. Unfortunately, it looks like switching over to having them be our host site, for lack of better. They don't distribute to iTunes as of right now or any other podcast platform. So if you're listening to us, fantastic. Thank you guys for your love and your fellowship and followership and so on and so forth. A little bit of bad news. We have been repping and advertising CD Trade Post here in Wichita, also just known as Trade Post. And unfortunately, they will be closing, I believe, at the end of the month of February. So if you're in the Wichita area, stop in, see Leslie and the rest of the gang over there at Trade Post. Pop in, just tell them how great they are, tell them how amazing they are. And it's going to be a pretty big blow to our community because they're one of the last few people who are selling physical media, especially at affordable prices. And we're really going to miss having them here. But it's not to say we're not going to have John and Leslie back on the show sometime very soon, because they were and still are very big supporters. So just want to give another heartfelt thank you and hats off to Leslie and the gang down there at Trade Post. So presto, you got anything for me for Daubers?
Need a beard, want a beard, want a beard to start a conspiracy theory? Then go over to BigDobsBeardBomb.com and use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order and pick yourself up some scents like bay rum, fresh, citrus, mint, classic, and sweet tobacco. Use promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order. Get it all. Get it at Dobbs.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Dobbs, big congratulations to our buddy Alan Dobmeyer. He recently finished his barber schooling and will now be moving on to being a full-time barber. Let me double check here because I actually forgot about that. Dobbs is actually opening up a barber shop with a friend of his. And so if you are over there, man, I thought I could find Big Dobbs easily on my Facebook. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Give me just a second. Live TV here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dobbs has opened a barbershop in Omaha, Nebraska. It is called Foreman and Dobmeyer Barbershop. So he'll be rocking his own product there, as well as delivering some sweet, sweet haircut and beard trims and everything else barbers do. Super stoked for him, and also Mr. Foreman as well. So outstanding stuff. And then I wasn't watching her Facebook live feed, but our buddy Jonathan was watching the show, and he mentioned that they definitely moved the aliens to Area 52.
Yeah. It's no longer Area 51.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for watching and listening. I'm going to raise this glass of water because it's all I can currently have right now and say cheers to the weird shit in the world. Cheers to the accidental disclosure. And cheers to those of us that love to talk about it.
And stay spooky and stay on the paranormal highway.
The cast at Pixelated Paranormal would like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. Pixelated Paranormal is here to tell you tales of the fantastical, the strange, the unknown. Tales that will move you a little further down the paranormal highway. If you'd like to share your own listener story, we would love to hear it. Email us at pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. Again, that's pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.